Okay, where will I begin? I just had one of my videos chomped off on me. But I'm going to show you an old way of counting. Here's the tic-tac-toe board. If I would use the old way of counting, I would count the single line that marked here. I'd count these two lines that mark up here and down here, and I'd mark a single line here. So here's one dot, here's two dots, here's one dot. 1, 2, 1 is 11, 11. It's also 9 by 9 is 81. 81 seconds or a minute and 21 seconds. Do you want to know Mars, what Mars is? It's a T. It's a smart T. How many colors do you want? It's a division in the road, somewhere in our thinking, something that either they created for us or that's already inside matrix, part of the matrix. Okay? Where are we going to go to next? We're going to go as fast as we could. Next thing I wanted to show you is that 15 times 15, or 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15, because 5 times 5 times 5 equals 125, times 3 is 375, plus 300, because we don't want to turn back to the place we started from, because then we'd be dead. So we go over here, 15 by 15 is 225, times 3 is 675, times 3, boom, bang, command and creation in the year 2015. Just tag it on to another one of my numbers. When we add on to the center of roulette, which connects all the numbers, these two over here are 35 and these are 39, totaling 74. The ones in the middle are 37, the total is 111. If you add diagonal 16, 20, 18, it's 54. If you add 19, 17, 21, it's 57, 111. 24th, 25th, 26th in a row is 75. 16, 20, 18 is 50, 16, 17, 18 is 51. 19, 17 is 36, 46, 56, 57. So you'd have Q, S, U, and you'd have X, Y, and Z creating 57, 75 in this formation. Now we just had 675 go into 2015. Now let me turn the page and see if I can get to where I was going. Here's another spot where I wanted to go. 365 days a year divided by 3125 days in the year. It'll bring you up to 116 and 88 pieces broken up, creating our perfect year. What do we do with the 3125? Where do we get the 3125? 25 by 25 is 625. Times 5 is 3,125. When you multiply it by 5 again, it becomes 15, which is the egg of who man is. 6, 6, and 7. What we're going to take as this, 15, 625, minus the Mayan time of 25, 625. It leaves us an even scale, 10,000, to add on to this to make 25, 625. 10,000, 10 o'clock. Another thing we want to do is we can go 5125 times 5 is 25,000, or divide it by 5 and it becomes 1025, which again comes back into blackjack, or 41 by 25, okay? 41 by 625 equals 25, 625. 41 times 25 is 1,025. 41 times 625 is 25, 625. Where did the 625 come from? It came from right here. 625 is 25 times 25. Where do you get 25 from? 5 by 5 is 25. And then you work yourself all the way up. Now if I want, I can go even backwards. And when I go backwards, I divide this by 2, and I end up with this number again. Back to this number. This number becomes this number by dividing this number by 2, or by multiplying this number by 5. All the same numbers. They keep rotating, almost like looking at pi. Oh, pi is different. Pi is different because the numbers, they like move over and forward. It's like not always one speed. So they're showing you, prize away, showing you maybe a different kind of speed. So we did this, and all in all, maintaining our 365.25 days that we're running on. Because this and all these numbers run into the same numbers that run into this, of the number of days they're supposed to be in a year. Don't forget, in a year it's basically like this. We go 365 days, and we stop here. Okay? Then we go 365 days, and we stop here. Then we go 360, and all the time we're stopping, we're going further and further and further away because our calendar dictates that we stop. So we stop. Something has to stop somewhere. It's automatically stopped, otherwise we wouldn't add on the leap year a couple of years later. And then that leap year just goes, tick, every 6 hours or every 12 hours or every hour of that leap year, every 6 hours that goes by, you're into the next part of the day that you never accomplished inside the same calendar year. Although one day will end you on December 31st, January 1st, another one might end you on the 25th. Don't forget Christ's birthday. But the one that ends you at the end is the one of love, Valentine's. That's the last part of the last 15 days of the cycle. Because I think that the months actually end on 14, 21, and 28, just like the Indian said. The months, 14, 15 and 14 is 29. One day before, one day on the moon, one day after the moon, and one day before the moon. Okay, let me see if I got anything else here in my grab bag. Another thing I wanted to mention is that when we go 400 times X, okay, let's say we're going to go 400 times what? 400 times 25, or is it 200, is it 25? 400 by 25, is that equal 10,000? To make up the difference of the 15,625, talking about the years of Moses and the pharaohing of the land in the hands of the pharaoh, and they were in there for 400 years of bondage, or is it a bandage? Then the age, what age was it? 2, 6, 5, 4, 1, 7, 5. What year was it? You see the way the 400 years of bondage times the quarter equals the 10,000 missing from the 15, and lo and behold, this is the 15th letter, or it's A and E, which equals F. 1 plus 5 equals 6. 6 and 6 is actually 1225. 6 times 25 is 150. We're back to the beginning again. What are we talking about? Where's the service marker? Another thing I wanted to mention is off the top of my head on a piece of paper, and I already did this once, and I'm going to do it again, because when you get 3.125, and this is 11644, and in fact, not only is that, okay, right over here, but this is Barack Obama. These are all the months of the year. And another thing, it shows on one of these pages 2013. Remember, the 5 ball meets the 13 ball. Passage number 5, the orange ball, the orange sun, the 1, the 3. We take the red and pull with the yellow and the orange. What do we mix? Are we mixing the colors? You mix the 1 as to say ace. The 1 is yellow, the 3 is red. We have 2 suns, yellow and red, and the 5 is the orange ball. So we have 1 and 9 is yellow is 10. Then we have 3 and 11 is 14. That's 10, and 14 is 24. And then we have the 5 and 13. The 5 and 13 is 18. 18 and 24 equals to 42. And that's the number that Nibiru runs by. And that's the same colors of all the suns that are up in the sky right now. So we also run numbers as 5844 by 625, and 625 is 25 times 25, and this is half of that. That's why this is double of that. 58 says gematria 1 and 2, and here again, 44. 5 and 8 is 13, 31. 13, 31 again, 44. So it's all coming into the same numbers. and it's AC/DC. It's all lining up, and I think we're going to leave it at this for now, and thank you very much for watching. Did I leave anything out on any pages? Of course I did. Let me see. Well, I can get into it. The way 9 and 5 and 8 and 6, and I've mentioned it before, the innings. Innings, we don't want to talk about that. Let me see. Pi, yes, pi, we talked about pi. And I was thinking, I got up this morning and I had a red lighter, but I didn't have a red sock. And I was thinking of a red sock, and boom, all of a sudden on the radio, the Red Sox lost. And I go, what do you mean the Red Sox lost? I can't find it either. Wow. 2 minutes later, I was looking under my bed and I found the White Sox on the radio. White Sox won. I'm like saying to myself, well, everybody's wearing my socks. They found the other White Sox. I only have one Red Sox and one White Sox. Well, the Red Sox are playing the White Sox this afternoon in Wrigley Field. I thought Chicago played from that too. Well, they're Chicago, but they're not from the same actual. Do they play in the same field? I guess they might. Call it all Harry Carey and call me a little crazy. Not lazy. I'm trying to put things together. Trying to get my offense all lined up. But it's okay. You know what I like? I like football. I like the defense. Not a defense, because then it'd be like that. That wouldn't be too good for a defense. No. There was an exposition in Montreal, so they made a baseball team called the Montreal Expos. I saw a cardinal flying up above my house, and then I heard on the radio that the Cardinals lost. I thought, what do you mean the Cardinals lost? There's one on my roof. I says, okay, it's all about 4 and 9. Boom. All about 4 and 9. 4 having a value of 60, 9 having a value of 42, making it Valentine's, making it 102, and all of a sudden the 49ers made a trade today. Well, then how can they be called the 49ers anymore? Maybe the Bernstein Bears want to just like walk on in. I mean, you can't talk about anything today. The bird was in the sky, and then I heard it was the Flyers against the Leafs. What do you mean? They shot him out of the sky, he was flying in the sky, and all the Leafs fell? That would be autumn, and that would be hockey season. Oh, it would be into football season. But is it football around that time? Philadelphia in September, it's still warm outside. Golly gee. Who was brave? I know who was brave. They told me on the radio Atlanta was brave. I don't know who he is, but they say he's brave all the time. In fact, he was brave 3 times in a row, and 2 times he lost his bravity. It says the Braves lost. So I guess he lost it. He has to follow something, and it's been on the news all the time. It's crazy out there. It's crazy. And then they started talking about the Indians, and that's when I got interested. I says, talk about the Indians. They talk about the Indians, that the National League is going to meet the American League, and the Indians are going to meet the Braves. I go, oh no, Ulysses Grant's coming to be president again? Holy crams. So I turn around, I look in the back, I looked at my son, then on the radio, boom, I look at his grades, and what do you think it said on the radio? His grades are all A's. And 2 minutes later, it was all A's, but they're drinking beer, because they're in Milwaukee. The A's and the Milwaukee Brewers are together. The A's and the Braves not together because they're up in the hills and the mountains. But thank God for the Rockies, because they're cooled over for the summer. But then I heard they're coming into Colorado. How can you play in Colorado baseball when they're all stoned? Because it's legal in that state. That means baseball players can smoke weed. You see, they couldn't do the drug enhancing their body and ruining their body at the same time, but since they made it legal in the state, I guess they can all smoke weed at the plate. Getting up the plate, 3 balls and 4 strikes. Batter's all stoned out of his tree, gets up, he says, what do you mean 3 balls and 4 strikes? 4 balls and 3 strikes. He says, let's make it fair. Let's make it 3 and 5. Oh, why 3 and 5? Well, 3.5 is 5, right? That's the 5 marker between the 4 and the 3 is the 5. I said, wow, look at these guys. And I said, that's it. No more. No more. We couldn't do this. We couldn't play. They were down in St. Louis. They were up by Detroit. I don't know. The Indians were in town. The A's played the 49ers. And then all of a sudden, I see and hear and listen, what's up in the sky? Of course, knows what's up in the sky? They must be playing the Giants. And wait a second, there's somebody going into the bullpen. It's a rover. I thought he was on Mars. Now they got him in the bullpen too? What other mounds are they going to move? Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for the few minutes of your time. I thank you very much.